Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are going to be doing a little bit of government reform this time. We got a lot of radicals, but we've also got a lot of loyalists. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw the Bhadraloks into the government. That's gonna put us at 61, which is pretty respectable. How long have we got this? How long have we got? Oh, we've only got a year of that. So we're going to fall back down to 40. Which is going to be okay, I think. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. And from here, I'm going to restrict child labor. And then maybe when the government of India cools off about it, we'll go to compulsory primary school. But we'll see. I want to get my education up. And then we're going to chill a bit to let our infamy go down. And then we'll worry about other stuff. But before we kick off, we got two events here. The trade unions demand the promotion of Major General Nijamuddin Suhrawardi, touting his history of loyal and effective service. Oh man, reading, it's hard. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Just puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Trivedi's face when the lieutenant general learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. Suhrawardi has earned it. It's happier trade unions. Where the trade unions will not force our hand, happier riots. I'll make the trade unions happy. That's fine. The brave engineer. A railroad accident in Carnatic only narrowly avoided heavy fatalities due to the quick thinking of the train's engineer, who perished in the crash. Only a few people died, but the wreckage will still take some time to clear. Come all you rounders if you want to hear a story all about a brave engineer. Thank goodness for quick-thinking engineers, -5 infrastructure, or a railman should get more than a song for dying on the job, stronger and happier trade unions in addition to -5 infrastructure. I'm going to go with the second one. I think that's fine. I think having stronger trade unions is going to be good for the country. And now we'll kick off. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. Not too long though. I've got a lot of my truces have expired over on with the princely states in the west, so I could do a block of annexations pretty soon if I wanted to. But my infamy is moderate at this stage. If I pick someone small for my primary target, I can do it without getting too much infamy. But I will get over. I will get over 25 if I'm not careful. I've also got a new company slot, so let's try and fill that. Basically, I've been going with steel companies to get max weekly construction progress and state construction efficiency, and that's basically been effective. West Bengal silks and dyes might be really good, because extra influence is nice. But I haven't maxed out excess influence right now. Ooh, I can get Mysore gold now. Oh my goodness, I want this real bad. Kota is damaging relations. Well, could they stop? Pakistan Defense Force. No, I don't want more units in the Pakistan Defense Force. Stop popping more units. Oh, I got a 10th army as well. Yeah, I can disband this. Alright, there we go. Easy peasy. Some extra units seem to have flowed into my defense forces anyway, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay. Weird that I wound up with some skirmish infantry in there. John C. damaging relations. Okay. Any more gold mine capacity for Mysore? Oh, that's a company headquarters. Neat. There is not. But we are getting the work done that we need to get done. So I'm feeling pretty jazzed about that. Finances are rock solid. I can continue building stuff without a problem. Although I am paying quite a bit of interest, so maybe I won't. I don't know, 20k still feels really high to me. I guess 12 million in credit is really not that much on account of just how large my economy is. Because I have the largest economy in the world. Oh my gosh, I'm at almost half a billion. Almost half a billion. I mean, I guess it is 1909, right? Like I've done a lot of work to increase the size of my economy over a long period of time, and it has become effective. Korean mass migration, wonderful. Got some decisions available. I could do a skyscraper site. I could found New Delhi. That would be interesting. So that would cost me a pile of money. Reduced political movement activism for the All India Muslim League. That's an interesting notion. Would that be useful to me? So universal pop strength in Delhi. While our current capital has served its role well, recent nationalist agitation has revealed its vulnerability to antisocial elements. We should establish a new government district in Delhi to reallocate our government apparatus there. You know what? I think I'll probably do that. But first, the invisible cry. Due to the inhuman conditions that children face in their workplaces, many families in West Bengal have chosen to hide their offspring in the hopes of them not being sent to work. They told us to stay quiet, sir, so that's what we did. My brother and I stood there, quiet as a tomb, you see. I held my breath as much as I could, but it was too dark, so I figured they'd already left. They wouldn't find us here, you see, that's what Mama said. But it was too dark, sir, and it was cold. Children? What children? Extra enactment chance? Or it'd be a shame if they were to hide in these abandoned houses. Saltier and weaker government of India, extra enactment chance. The enactment chance doesn't change between these two, so I'm just going to do the first one. I don't necessarily want to weaken the government of India at this time, at this stage in history. Let me see, what was I doing? Oh, I was going to found New Delhi. I'm going to found New Delhi. I think we'll do that. That'll probably proc an event, so let's see what that is. Maybe it'll proc at the end of the week, or maybe there won't be an event. Let me see, we got 10% stall chance. Because George Sutherland is a market liberal. So the government of India isn't opposing us at all. Alright, so no event. That's pretty cool. So we're going to build up government admin capacity in... Oop, that's not the button. Combustion engine. Ooh, this is very good. Actually, now that I'm thinking on it, I need to change up some production methods for my military. Because I'm still using some, at least mildly antiquated production methods. So I do have the ability to do this. And more importantly, the ability to do this. I'm going to pull off first aid. And this is fine. I'm not in a war or anything, so this shouldn't be an issue. And then we'll go to field hospitals for that, and that'll be just fine. You can't have both of these. But that is what it is. I could activate extra supplies. That would significantly increase mobilization costs, but it would also lead to an increase in offense and defense. It is more of everything, but I think I can afford it. As for motorized recon, let's take a quick look at how our motor industries... Am I at... Yes. Let's take a quick look at our motor industries and figure out what the projections look like. So I can produce 6K automobiles. It's going to cost a bunch of oil and rubber. Does the market have a sufficiency of oil and rubber for that? Rubber, it absolutely does. Oil, it doesn't quite yet, but there will be more later. Alright, let's do it. Start making cars. Public transit completed. Roaring engines. With the invention and implementation of motor transportation, the question arises, shall we focus on public or private transportation? Why should I have to sit on a bus or a train with a stinky peasant? I should have my own means of transportation. The speed of the nation should not be left in the hands of the rich few. We need to keep the poor in mind. More automobiles are needed, increased motor industry throughput, or more public transport, increased urban center throughput. You know I'm going to do... You know I'm not going for urban center throughput, basically ever. So this costs a pile of cash. I can, of course, go ahead and increase... Oh my goodness, I need railways here. Oh, I'm building railways. No, these are in Kashmir. Alright. We're going to build up some railways in Delhi then. And then we're going to build up some government admin. 4. I'm minus 466. That probably wasn't very smart because I really need more admin in East Bengal. But, you know, it'll be fine. So 460, that's just about 15 government admins. I can actually afford that amount. So, you know, we'll do... No, I won't do any extra. I won't do any extra. 15 will be just fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. We're a little short on engines in the market, but the supply of cars is going to be... Oh, come on. We'll sell our cars to the French. We sure are producing a barrel full of cars. In fact, we're producing maybe too many cars. I'm going to go ahead and shift all of my small sectors over to prioritizing trains. Anything below 10, I think. And then just leave a few very large ones building cars, and we'll see how that goes. Stonks! Yeah! Alright, so... It's interesting. Some of these are very productive and some of them are not. So now, we have 3 major sectors. Well, really 4. Swap these ones over. I think I'm going to put the ones in Karnataka back on engine production. So that's going to tank the supply of cars. Okay, supply of cars is good. Where are most of these coming out of? Mostly here. There's a few in East Anglia and a few in Ulster. A few in the Midlands. But mostly West Bengal, East Bengal, Bombay, and Bihar. Alright, this is good. Car supply is stabilized. Are the buildings productive? They mostly are. Yeah, looks like they are, just about. Wonderful. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. Oh, and now I should get some extra cash from Mysore Gold, because I get extra minting from that. And my line item for minting is huge. 285k for minting, which is pretty significant. That also led to an increase in standard of living, which is nice. Bureaucratic imbroglio. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of restricted child labor have found themselves mired in a particularly complex set of bureaucratic proceedings, grinding the work towards reform to a near halt. The fully developed bureaucratic apparatus compares with other organizations exactly as does the machine with the non-mechanical modes of production. That is to say, the teeth of its individual gears meet in accord, but its gears will gnash and churn until it eventually breaks. Damn this labyrinthine legal system, increase enactment time, reduce enactment chance, or cut through at least some of the red tape. Some radical bureaucrats in Delhi and a little bit of lost bureaucracy, but only increase enactment time. You know I'm going to go with that second one. I got 36% against 10%, and that's a very, very rock-solid ratio at this stage. So, let me see. Half a year of infamy reductions. That's been pretty good. Of course, the temptation now is to immediately kick off another war. And I'm not going to not kick off a war, assuredly. Spain sides with us said, not that that really impacts me at all. Yep, don't need to be worrying about that battle. Oman can handle its own things. But do I want to kick off a war while I'm having... Well, actually, the government of India are happy. I'm not actually worried about this reform one bit. Oil in Gujarat. The discovery of oil in Gujarat is causing people to flock to the state, hoping to find jobs in this booming industry. Gold, silver, diamonds? For what? Diamonds and finery are for the gentry, glamour to hide that their time is past. Listen, my friend, nostalgia may be gilded, but the future runs on oil. Encourage this trend, oil is the future. Extra migration attraction and industry employees. And then caution that much may yet change, which is half the bonuses. I'm gonna go with the first one. I'm gonna encourage this trend, oil is the future, every time. And we're going to build up some oil wells because we need... Oh, my goodness. It's only one oil well. Oh, gosh dang it. Do I have in-house oil capacity at this time is an important question. Because I really have some... Oh, I have the combustion engine derrick production method available. That's bananas. I love it. So, how much more capacity have we got? We've got a bunch of oil in Assam. So I'm going to build all of that up, actually. We've got some oil in Mandalay, but that's in Burma. Speaking of which... And we own one level of oil wells in Mosul, which is interesting. And there's the telephone. So, Bhopal is damaging relations. That's fine. Let's build up some industry in Delhi. What kind of population? Yeah, we got plenty of labor available here. I'm going to build up some electronics industry. Electrics industry. How much am I going to build up? Loads. Loads of money, United. Loads. And the reason I'm doing that is because once I get central planning, I'm going to need a ton of telephones. How many telephones are there currently in the market? Oh my gosh, Britain, please tell me you're building telephones. Britain, have you not built telephones yet? Am I ahead of Britain in telephones? Bananas. Absolutely bananas. How could this happen? Well, that's extremely silly. I feel like that's a low enough level of infamy. So let's grab Pawn Port. That's 2.6 infamy. That'll get us slightly over 20. Which will put us slightly over 25 very briefly. But I think it's worth. We can grab some more states. Russian Republic is likely to side on the other side, but I'm not actually worried about that. All right. So, who else is with them? Satara, Junagad, Bhavnagar, Idar, and Makran. All right. So, got 90 maneuvers. So I can do 3 of these. I can do exactly 3. Alright. So we'll get... I don't actually need Satara that badly. So I'm going to grab Junadag, Bhavnagar, and Makran. Not bad. Not bad at all. And I think I may be able to do this with just the defense forces. We'll see. Be pretty convenient if I were. Obviously, if Russia gets involved, things will be different. But I don't think they're going to get involved. I think they're going to chill. I think they're going to just be chill. Surely I have another defense force that's not currently mobilized. The Bombay Defense Force. Oh, they're over here. They're hiding. Hiding out, eh? Trying not to get involved, eh? Well, we'll see about that. These armies should be back to full organization. Yeah, they're back to full organization. I think I've misallocated... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be back here. You're in the right place. Hold on, I've done an error here. No, this is I do need one more army. Just to avoid there being a little cluster. Gotta put an army on the Samarkand's border. Yes, an event. The Art of Doing Nothing. Though previously opposed to the restricted child labor laws, Balaji Mastusi has considered the Bhadraloks' political position and set off his support. Whereas speaking with constituents on matters of law, one must first master the art of appearing to do nothing. While you do everything behind whispers and masked men? Indubitably. Welcome their support. Stronger Bhadraloks is fine with me. Absolutely fine. And there is a bad front over here. I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue. I'm not going to mobilize an additional army to deal with it for sure. The Khalsa army will be available in due time, assuming nobody steps in and tries to get up to any nonsense. Control over here. Obviously, I could pull in the British. Oh, I cannot. I have good relations with Russia. My relations with Russia are okay. I'm actually going to improve them. I may end up shooting at the Russians, but not now. Not at this time. There are other matters to attend to. Should probably build smaller, more small armies. Ooh, I lost a general. Just double checking my command capacity. Bombay army is a little low. Let's see. We'll grab a civil servants guy. He should be just fine. Yeah, he's a humanitarian. Nice. Feared but not loved. The Japanese shogunate, owing us an obligation, could be used to request a propaganda campaign, making the world see that our nation in a more pleasant light. It is well for a nation to be respected, feared even. But can we truly expect them to support us in the future if most Japanese children grow up hearing stories about who will eat them if they don't behave? Everyone should remember how we came to their aid, reduced infamy if they accept, or why, when we are a nation to be feared, no consequence. I'm going to do the first one. I would love to get a reduction in infamy. We'll see how that goes. A free reduction in infamy would be just fine. Come on, give me that infamy reduction. Mohandas Gandhi. Oh, excellent. That's good. I'm sure that won't herald major changes in the country. Business as usual, I say. Surguja is requesting a degree of autonomy. No. Alright, we got a bunch of events popping off here. So let's go ahead and read them. The Donavur Fellowship. Amy Carmichael, a Christian missionary active in Karnataka, has become a well-known in the region for providing sanctuary to children forced into prostitution. She's founded a ministry to further her works. We've seen this event before. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before. We're often asked to tell converts stories, and certainly they would thrill, for the way of escape God opens sometimes is, like Peter's from prison, miraculous, and truth is stranger than fiction and far more interesting. But we who work in the terrible's lair, and know how he fights to get his prey back, even after it has escaped from him, are afraid to tell these stories too much, and feel that silence is safest, and, strange as it may seem, for the present most glorifies God. Her cause warrants an official donation. Exile at the gates. The relatively lenient East Indian immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Recently, Bakchip has petitioned to join the stream of people moving to the Dominion of India. It was one name on a very, very long list, one that had passed through multiple layers of bureaucracy before being noticed. One fateful day, however, one clerk at the end of his shift pointed at that name and spoke those fatal words. I swear I've heard of him before. Bakchip. Civil servants are radical, honorable, inept. Diplomat. Inept. Reduced legitimacy, reduced interest-group political strength. Oh, this guy's not great. Eventually he too will be Indian, or we will not have someone like this regardless of precedent. Ooh. We'll bring him in, and then we'll immediately get rid of him. Time to go. Oh, I can't. Character's ideology is not too similar to that of our ruler. Oh, that's very funny. Alright, well that's going to be interesting. Satyagraha. Should have pronounced that correctly. After spending many years abroad, Mohandas Gandhi has returned to the Dominion of India. He has put his theory of Satyagraha, or firmly holding to the truth, to use in support of the Indian independence movement. As the advocate, recently returned from his travels abroad, speaks for the 6th hour, the convention is listless. Bright young man, a Congress member quips. Who does he think he is? Another responds. He seems to assume he is the smartest man in the room, as every proclamation guarantees free ammunition for our enemies. A hero returns to his native land, plus 50 popularity permanently, or order the newspapers to keep this quiet, plus 25 popularity. You know, a hero returns. Yeah, we'll go with that. So let's look at how he's represented in Wiki 3. He's a humanitarian, strongly endorses multiculturalism, guaranteed liberties, protected speech, women's suffrage, compulsory primary schooling. Cool. So that's his bit. Supports the Indian national movement. He's persistent, inspirational orator, and charismatic. Neat. All right. Looks like no one's going to step into this situation. And again, I brought Mr. Jeep in here because I didn't want to upset my government. The despot of St. Petersburg opposed the arbitrary and illiberal rule of the Lord Protector of the Russian Republic. The Zamindars have fallen in with the Anti-Russian Association. To all those who cherish liberty, the Russian Republic, under the boot of that pernicious Lord Protector, stands out as an example of the very worst excesses of despotism. In no country is the indomitable right of every soul to strive towards its own destiny obstructed, as it is in the Russian Republic. And in no country is a greater threat found to our own liberty than in the Russian Republic. The Russian Republic must fall, for if it does not, we will fall in her place. Down with tyrants, down with the Russian Republic. The Zamindars join the Anti-Russian Association. Or sometimes a firm hand is needed to govern well. Salty Zamindars. I don't care if the Zamindars are salty, so I'm going to do the second one. Honestly, I'll always piss off the landowners. Pissing off the landowners is my hobby in this game. I'm going to set the Bombay Defense Force to defense for now, while we deal with other fronts, and then after that we'll have ourselves a better ratio, and things will be easier. Alright, let's see if we can get our first success in certain child labor for another couple months. There's war with Palampur popping off. Things are going well in Satara, where we have the Khalsa army. Things are going well in Gujarat. Things are going well in other Gujarat, on the other front in Gujarat. There's malaria prevention. That's not going to help me right now. The enemy is attacking, and we are defending very well with our trench infantry. Trench infantry, they're great at defense. Gwalior is damaging relations. All right, so how close are we? Oh, we nearly got Satara completely conquered. That's excellent. Actually, with these battles here going so well, our force ratio is improving. So I might put the Bombay Defense Force over to attack, and I think I will. Hey, law progressed to consideration. Wonderful. Oh no, this is good harvest condition. Moderate rainfall. At least a moderate harvest condition. I don't want to support Sudan's independence. I don't want to give Assam a greater degree of autonomy. Things will go as they go. Yeah. Everyone wants more autonomy. Get in line. And by get in line, I mean fight me, nerd. Fight me, nerd. I'm stealing all your territory. Sadly, Japan did not give us our infamy reduction, which is a tragedy, truthfully, but it is what it is. I'm going to stop bolstering the utilitarian movement because I'm going to lose some authority in a little bit. I think it's just, it is what it is. This movement has never been very strong in our country, and we're just going to have to live with the fact that there's only so much we can do to increase strength of the movement. Alright, Satara has not been annexed, but I wish it had been, but one only has so many maneuvers to play with. Very nice, the Shigunas control Palanpur. Alright, we'll put this one here to close out the front in Indar, which is nearly closed out. Oh, my goodness, they're all closed out now. Excellent. Excellent, wonderful. Alright, so this will be the end of the war pretty soon. And I'll be just so very pleased about that. I'll give myself a couple more provinces. And that will be wonderful. There we go. Very good. And probably the last battle of the war here, because we got 89% occupation, and that'll give us full occupation of all of this territory. Shabamzo, shabamzo, shabamzo. So, that puts Gujarat... Gujarat is still split with Adar, but it's less split than it's ever been, which is nice. How are we with infrastructure? We're doing rock solid. How's Baluchistan with infrastructure? It is split with this little bit owned by Oman. We'll be able to steal that at a later point, maybe. And this is good. So all of these other countries are completely internal to India, which means that I can basically conquer them at my leisure, with the exception of Assam. And then I think historically Burma did become part of the British Raj, so that's also a potential expansion target. Yeah, so you know, a little bit of work here or there to increase the normalization of the country. Stop it! Stop it! I'm not giving you more autonomy. Get out of here. No one wants to give you autonomy. Freaking nerds. I wish Great Britain would deal with this. This situation right here just looks terrible. They never really conquered out the last of Persia. How bad are they in infamy? They're doing pretty bad from an infamy perspective. New neighbors, new grudges. Well, this always does happen. A minority group of Turkish have recently settled in the state of Bombay, seeking a better future. However, the local English elites are stirring up resentment, claiming that the Turkish newcomers will destroy the traditional way of life. So, what kind of population dynamics do we have here? Almost half English. That's a shock. They don't belong here. Our English customs, our way of life, they'll be lost if we let the Turkish settle, claims a prominent landowner. His words echoed in the taverns and markets of Bombay. The newcomers, hopeful but weary, whisper of opportunity, but face closed doors and hostile stares. The Turkish people must accept their lot. English upper-stardom pops become more loyalist, Turkish pops become more radical. Acceptance is reduced by 5. I think Turkish have pretty high acceptance in our current situation. Let me sort by name. Turkish 75. So if I do the first one, that'll drop them to 70, and that's not going to affect things. But it's going to make the English upper-stardom pops more loyalist, and that's good for me. So I'm going to go with the first one. Hopefully the Turkish community will not be too put out by that. All right. And the electrics industries are still progressing at a good rate, but that is all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. So I'm going to sign off here. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.